Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can create a sensitivity analysis in Microsoft Excel. And what a sensitivity analysis is a way for you to do multiple what if scenarios to see what perhaps your profitability would look like at different quantities or prices. And that's what I'm going to do in this example today. So I'm going to set up some fields for my starting price and my cost. So let's say I sell something for $100 and it costs me $55 to make. So these are my selling price and my cost. And let's say I also have a fixed cost of, let's say, $40,000. So the key thing is I want to try and maximize profitability when factoring all these different components. And my starting quantity, let's say, is going to be 500 units. And I'm going to determine my increments that I'm going to jump by. I'm going to jump by quantities of, say, 50. And then for my price increments, I can just do that by increments of 5. So you can either hard code it or you can set up formulas, but I'm going to do this so we can link this so it's easier to make changes on the go here. So if I insert a row here and say price increment here is going to be $5 as well. So jump by $5, and the quantities, these are going to be numerical values. So we're going to jump the quantities by 50 at a time. So now those are my inputs, and now let's set up the sensitivity analysis. So going across, I'm going to have my quantity sold, and that's going to start at the starting value of 500. And then I'm going to jump by 50, which is what I've got there. So the 500 plus this 50. So I'm going to freeze that cell, $B, $6. So I'm always jumping by 50 at a time. So I can spread this across, and let's go all the way to around 1,000. There are 1,000 units sold, 500. So that's going to be going across. Those are my values for my sensitivity analysis when the quantity changes. Now, another important component, of course, is the price. So I'm going to set this first value to my starting price, and I'm going to do the same sort of thing here. I'm going to take this value, add 5. I'm jumping by 5 at a time. And again, I'm going to freeze B2 just so I'm always going 5 at a time. And in this case, let's go all the way down to, let's say 150. Nice round number. And so this is my matrix here. I'm going to call this price. So we can have this going across, but basically one axis is for the price, one is going to be for the quantity sold. And here we're going to calculate our profit based on these different components. So here's where we're going to set up our formula. And this is important to get it right and to get the freezing right, just to make sure that it's easy to copy across to all these different cells. So when calculating profitability, we're going to take the price of the unit multiplied by the quantity, which is up here, and then subtract the cost of this times the quantity as well. And then let's also subtract those fixed costs of 40,000, because that's going to give us an accurate picture of what our profitability looks like after factoring not just the cost, the direct cost, but also the fixed costs and overhead. So based on that calculation, we have a loss of 17,500. So we can check this just to make sure that it's calculating properly, and you can set this up differently, of course, but I just want to show you how this works. So we're doing 100 times 500. So that's our sales of 50,000. Then we're doing the cost times the number of units. There's our price, our sales minus our cost of goods. So that's what we've got left over. And now after factoring in fixed cost of 40,000, we've got a loss. So the formula is set up correctly. The key thing at this point, and this is really the most important part when you're creating a matrix like this, is to make sure you've got your freezing set up correctly. So B10, this relates to this price. So I always want to make sure that column B is frozen. So I'm going to put a $sign just in front of column B. I want it to move up and down. That's fine. For C9, we're referencing the quantity. Here, I want to freeze the row number because I always want it to stay in this row. Now, for B3, in this case, we've got that is the cost. So that is going to stay frozen because that is not going to change. So it's always going to reference $55. We're not adjusting for the cost here. C9, again, we are going to freeze the row number again, because that quantity is going to change left and right, but we don't want it to move up and down. And lastly, we've got B4, which is our fixed cost, and that one is also going to stay constant. So we're freezing both of these. So it's really important to make sure that these are frozen properly before you start copying and pasting them over. So I'm going to drag these across, and I'm just going to adjust the width of my columns here, just to make sure all those values are easily visible. And so let's test out our logic just to make sure that everything is calculated properly. Let's go back to this 55,000 here and go to evaluate formula again. And we're checking that we're doing 150, the price, times the quantity of 1,000, which is correct. Then we've got our cost of $55 times 1,000, the quantity again. And then we're subtracting the fixed cost of 40,000. So our logic is correct. As we copy the formula, everything remained intact. So that's exactly what we want to see. So it's really important to test that out just to make sure that you can see that the calculations are correct. And when you're doing a sensitivity analysis, one thing that's really effective is to add some conditional formatting to your data rather than just looking at these numbers where, it can be a bit hard to see, interpret these results. So what I'm going to do is select all these values, and on the Home tab, go to conditional formatting, and you can see there's color scales here. So we can decide how we want these to be sorted, in terms of red to yellow, whatever sort of breakout we want. So I'm going to go from red to green, even though this is really not, we're not really setting up the rules. We're letting the conditional formatting basically do that for us to scale it based on our values. And so by doing this, it's really easy to see where our lowest values are and where we start to get to the mid-range and profitability, and where our highest values are. So this is usually a very effective approach when doing a sensitivity analysis, just to see where that progression happens, where we've got the deepest losses and where we've got the deepest gains. And at this point, it's just a matter of really formatting your table to set it up how you want. But this is how we can set up a conditional formatting to enhance our sensitivity analysis. And the great thing about this is now, because we've linked everything to these variables here, we can change these on the fly. Let's say we decide, okay, let's say the price is going to be starting at $125 and see what that does to our table. What if our costs go up to $70? What if our fixed costs are $45,000 instead of 40, right? So it's a lot more powerful now, because rather than hard coding the values, by linking them to these cells, you can make these changes on the fly and essentially have multiple what if scenarios. And what you could do is basically do copies of this. So you could have multiple iterations of this, where you've got one sensitivity analysis based on these types of prices and costs, but you're still looking at quantity sold and changes in price. So it does give you a bit of flexibility this way, as opposed to just hard coding them in there. Because when you're referencing cells rather than hard coding values, you have a lot more power in your calculations, and it's a lot easier now to make changes without having to go in and hard code and update your values. So that's how you can set up sensitivity analysis in Microsoft Excel with the help of conditional formatting. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.